So if you're moving to the Atlanta area soon and you're looking for an established neighborhood with nice homes like this, and maybe your budget's $600,000 or $1,600,000, well, there are some options in this neighborhood for both price ranges. I'm talking about the areas of Sexton Woods and Keswick Village. They're not really talked about a lot, I don't think, so I wanted to dedicate a video to these beautiful neighborhoods. So stay tuned. We're talking all about these neighborhoods here in the Chamblee area right now. Hey there, my name is Molly and welcome back to my channel. If you are new or returning, make sure you will follow along by hitting that subscribe button. That really helps me out. Give this video a like, and hey, if you are moving to the Atlanta area soon, you need help with that future home purchase, well, reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I'm here to help you out. But okay, you guys, I've talked about these neighborhoods before in my Chamblee vlog tour, but I felt like they could use their own separate video because I don't think a lot of people know about these neighborhoods, and everyone wants to focus on Virginia Highland, Morningside, Ashford Park, and in the Brookhaven area, but these neighborhoods are just as great, a slightly lower price point, so I want to talk about them right now. Now, these are in the Chamblee area. Let me put up a map so you can see where these are. These are kind of like in the northeastern section of inside the perimeter, I-285. So, I will talk about anything ITP. So these are technically in the city of Chamblee, and they are smaller neighborhoods. So that's why I'm lumping Keswick Village in with Sexton Woods, because they are about, they're pretty small neighborhoods. And I'm actually in the Keswick Village Park called Keswick Park. And this is kind of like in between the two neighborhoods. So I thought this might be a good starting point. So let me show you around this park real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the neighborhood. But this is a beautiful park. You're going to see a lot of people out here taking jogs, walks. I see a lot of people out here, with their dogs, throwing a frisbee. There's some baseball fields. There's some people playing tennis. There's basketball courts. So let me show you around. Cute park, right? Now, I've seen lots of flyers for soccer, tennis, baseball, so you can imagine that there's a lot of families that live in this neighborhood, and this offers a fairly active lifestyle if you're looking for that. The only thing it's missing is a public pool, but you can get over to the Candler Murphy Park. They have a pool there, or the Linwood Park pool. That's not too far of a drive. So those would be your closest pool options if you're looking to cool down in the summertime heat. Now, that's one thing that I always get asked is, is this a walkable neighborhood? Everyone wants a walkable neighborhood. Well, I think these are pleasant areas to walk around. You're not gonna have a lot of destinations, although on the end of the Keswick Village, which would be very easy depending on where you live in the Sexton Woods neighborhood, you can hop over through the Keswick Park, and you're gonna hit this little trail. It's like a little mini belt line called the Chamblee Rail Trail. I'll hit that in a few minutes, but that would be something you can actually walk to, go get some coffee, go get something to eat, and not have to get in your car. Now, if you're wondering how far is it to get to things, so getting over to Buckhead, that's about an 18-minute drive. Midtown, 25 minutes, downtown, 30 minutes, the airport, 40 minutes. And if you're trying to get over to the perimeter, maybe you work over there, that's an easy 13-minute drive. Now, all of these times, I looked it up kind of during the peak morning rush hour. These times may be a little bit longer, but that's what you could probably expect during a rush peak time. But speaking of drive times, I think this is an excellent neighborhood for those that work in Buckhead. This is not too far away, and especially those that work, over at Northside Hospital or St. Joseph Hospital. That's right along the perimeter. The perimeter, I'm talking about the north side of 285. And there's a lot of corporations that have their offices up in that perimeter location between Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. And yeah, this would be a super great commute over there. And you know, what I do love about the perimeter as well is you have all that shopping, kind of the big box stores, a Target, Home Goods. There's a mall there, and Dunwoody is exploding with a bunch of new restaurants over in that area. So yeah, this is a great spot. You know, if you are looking to not live in the suburbs, quote unquote, this is a really great spot. So there you go. That's kind of a quick glance at this trail that you can walk on or bike on or jog on, and you can connect all the way over into the downtown Chamblee area where there's a bunch of cute little restaurants to go and eat at. Just check out my whole full Chamblee vlog tour and you can get more info about that there. But you can actually go underneath the Peachtree Boulevard Road, which is a very busy road. That used to just be where it's changed so much. It used to just be car dealerships, and now there's all these apartments everywhere, and there's this big commercial space called Peachtree Station where you saw the Whole Foods. There's some places to eat, get a Starbucks, that kind of thing. So it's great that you can walk there, and I've been walking this whole time from the park. So if I can do it, I know you can do it too. So you do get a little bit of that walkability feel if you're craving that, but you may not have to pay quite as high of a price as you would in some of those other popular walkable in-town neighborhoods. Now, speaking of price points, the median sales price in Keswick Village is just over $1 million. Now, Keswick Village is pretty small. I'm going to show you that next, but you're going to see it's just kind of like one little circle, and that's all it is. Sexton Woods is a little bit bigger, and the median sales price there is around $585,000. Now, don't let that fool you. There are a lot of newer builds in that neighborhood that go over the $1.5 million mark, but there are also a lot of smaller ranch homes in there. So you can kind of, you know, if you have kind of a budget more in the $700K and below, you're looking at probably a ranch home. But if you've got more of a 1.2, 1.5, or, you know, I saw one sale for 1.7 million, then you certainly can get a new build with all the latest and greatest finishes, you know, a basement, all that good stuff. Now, if you're curious about townhomes in the area, there are not any like in these particular neighborhoods, but there are some right on the outskirts of these neighborhoods off of Johnson Ferry Road. And I would say most of those, you know, they were built 2013, 2015, and they are around that 650K price point. But now I'm going to walk you over into the Keswick Village neighborhood, show you that real quick, show you a home example. And you know, you may be wondering about schools. This might be a good time for me to talk about the school systems. So the elementary school that's zoned to both of these neighborhoods is the Montgomery Elementary School. There's the Chamblee Middle School and the Chamblee Charter High School. And they have really decent rankings online. I remember helping a family look, and they really wanted the Montgomery Elementary School District, and homes just were flying off the shelf, and they ended up pausing from their home search for a while and ended up renting. But that's one thing I should also mention about, you know, days on market in both of these neighborhoods. Homes really do fly pretty quickly. I mean, there's a few that sit if they're, you know, not as in great condition, but generally speaking, you know, median sales days on market is 13 days, and more recently there's like 3 pending sales right now. They were all gone in a matter of 4 days with multiple offers. So that gives you an idea of what, you know, how fast homes move in this neighborhood. And that's not just a 2023 thing. That was even before, you know, the whole craziness of the housing craziness in 2021 after the pandemic. Even before that, people were kind of going nuts. And of course, the price point has increased, kept going up. Oh, there's a little dog park right behind here, just around the baseball field. So yeah, if you're wanting to secure a home in either of these neighborhoods, you really got to get your game plan together. Reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. We can talk strategy and make sure that your finances are lined up, whether you're paying cash or you need a local lender. I got you covered. I'm walking down one of the main roads in the Keswick Village neighborhood. Like I said, there's only a couple of roads and one makes a giant circle around the neighborhood. Just a sweet neighborhood, and you're gonna get a mix. So you can see like here is a new build, and then you're gonna get some, you know, more like a cottage style home. You know, maybe that will be your next door neighbor. So there are some new builds going up in here, and I think it's just a great mixture of newer and older and different price ranges. And like I said, some of these smaller homes are going to be in that 600 to 700K price point. But if you're looking at the new build, you're definitely looking at, you know, 1.2 and up. You know, they used to, I remember when it used to just be 900K to $1 million. And, you know, as time progresses, home value prices keep going up. A couple other things I'll point out. You might have heard that airplane flying overhead just a minute ago. Yes, this is close to the Peachtree to Cab Airport, so you're going to get some of those private commercial planes coming in and out, and that's just kind of the nature of this area. Like in the Brookhaven area, you're just near that airport. It's really not that horrible, to be honest. Another thing to note is in this neighborhood, if you're getting one of the older homes, you're probably not going to have a garage. You're just going to have a driveway, maybe a carport. So just be prepared for that. Now, if you're buying one of the new builds, yes, you're going to have a two-car garage and probably a basement or an unfinished basement. In fact, I'm coming up on a new build to give you kind of an example of what that looks like. It sold for $1.5 million. It is a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, just over 3,700 square feet. A pretty decent, you know, most of these have a pretty decent square or yard sizes. This one's about 0.3 acres, but here it is right behind me, and you can imagine it has, you know, all the latest and greatest finishes. It was just finished in 2023. It's got an unfinished basement, nice open layout, good sized bedroom. So there you go. There's an example of a new build in the Keswick Village neighborhood. Okay, so that was Keswick Village for you. It's a very small, cute neighborhood, and now I'm entering the Sexton Woods neighborhood, and it's just on the other side of the Keswick Park. So I'm just walking up this road. I love entering into this neighborhood from the Keswick Park area because you go over this curve and you see those beautiful homes. It's just really inviting. But in Sexton Woods, you're going to get a little mixture of ranch homes, a lot of ranch homes, and then you get like these newer build homes, like look right behind me here. And then you're going to see right across the street probably like a split level home. Now, if you remember, I told you the median sales price is $585,000 in this neighborhood, and that's just because there are still quite a few of these smaller ranch homes, and then they're building a bunch of these newer build homes, and these are all on pretty good sized lots. That's one thing that is different about the Keswick Village neighborhood is that a lot of these homes are on bigger size lots, so that you get these sprawling ranches. And that's one thing, you know, some are, I find there's some teardowns that builders are paying, you know, over $500 for, and then there's some that are actually livable and they're selling for $500. So it really kind of just depends on the lot, because, you know, builder can get it for $500 but then sell it for 1.7, then yeah, they're going to do that all day long. So I'm going to keep walking further into this neighborhood, show you some different home examples of what you can get in different price ranges. But yeah, if you've been looking, you know, especially like in Ashford Park, Drew Valley over in that Brookhaven area, that's a very popular area. If you're striking out over there, definitely consider Sexton Woods because it gives you that same feel, maybe a little bit less walkable because you don't have that Dresden Drive with a bunch of restaurants kind of down that main road. But this is a pretty good option, and I would say, you know, new builds are 1.5 here, 1.6. I saw one that was 1.7, but in Brookhaven they start at 1.7. So if you can't quite reach that, but you got like a budget of 1.5, then this would be a good option to consider. One thing I should mention is that the Chamblee Middle and High School are right on the edge of this neighborhood. I'm walking right by the Chamblee Middle School. So if you've got middle school or high school kids, they could easily walk or ride their bike over to these schools if you wanted to. Elementary school, that's a little further away, not too far, but it's off of Ashford Dunwoody Road. You're definitely going to want to drive over there. And yeah, there's also a Marist private school. So if you're looking for a private option, it's a Catholic school. It's for grades 7 through 12. So that is also nearby as well. All right, I'm walking over to a home example here in the Sexton Woods area that's on the lower price range. But while I'm walking there, you know, grocery stores, I always like to know where those are. There's a lot of families that live in here. They're probably running to the grocery store all the time. So the closest ones, there's going to be the Walmart. Now, everyone likes shopping at Walmart, but that would be very close. There's also a couple of different Publix grocery stores. There's really not a Kroger. There's also that Whole Foods that I mentioned. And you can also wander back to the Brookhaven Village area, and there is a Publix and a Costco there. So there you go. There's some options for groceries. And I'm coming up on this cute ranch home. It's actually under contract right now. There are multiple offers on it, so I actually don't know what the final sales price on this home is going to be, but let me show it to you. Okay, so my home example is right behind me here. This was listed again at $559. Multiple offers, so I'm sure it went over. This is a 3-2, just over 1,700 square feet, and it has kind of like an L-shaped kitchen with kind of like a cutout in the kitchen that looks into the living room. You know what I'm talking about? But it looks like a very well cared for ranch style home, and just very clean, updated, nice. And so there you go. There's an example of something in the 500s, which I think over time that's going to be very, very hard to find in this neighborhood. Just walking down another street. I've got another home example to show you here at the end of the street, but this just gives you a good idea of what a lot of this Sexton Woods neighborhood is about. So look behind me here, new build, some ranch new build, and then on the other side you got some ranch. So again, this is a very typical of what happened in the Ashford Park, Drew Valley neighborhoods. A lot of these older ranch homes that were in disrepair were getting torn down and building these bigger homes on them. So that's kind of what's happening here. I mean, for better, for worse, that's what's happening. But I'm going to show you a home here that is kind of in that middle price range. It's not a new build, but it'll give you an idea of what that looks like. Check out this beautiful home behind me. Now, I'm sure that one went a little bit above 1.5 million, but you're getting a lot of these beautiful construction homes in this neighborhood. Okay, so my home example is right behind me here. This was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, just over 2,500 square feet. You can see it's a split level. Now this one got multiple offers. It was listed for $695. It sold for $750. So yeah, you get the boxing gloves come off for getting homes in this neighborhood. But this was very well maintained. It has granite countertops. It has a lovely huge patio in the back. And this is on 1.3 acres, so really nice, good sized lot. But like I said, and as you could see from that home example, people do bid up these homes because people want to be in this neighborhood. So as you can see, you do have to have a little bit of a strategy of securing a home in this neighborhood, but that's where I can help you. Reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. Check this out. New home going up right there. And you guys, I could keep walking around this neighborhood all day because it is just filled with really pretty homes and pretty ranch homes too. I'm not just dissing those and saying, oh, look at the new construction, because there's some really nice ranch homes in here. But you know, I kind of showed you all of the minis that are around here, which includes the Keswick Village Park, that Chamblee Rail Trail that you can walk to and go get some coffee or something to eat. But let me take you over outside of this neighborhood to another park that's not too far away. That's the Blackburn Park. That would be another option if you're willing to hop in your car just a little bit to get over to another park. And there's some tennis courts there, a place to play on the playground, and some walking trails. So let me take you there next. Okay, well, I learned something new. You can actually access the Blackburn Park from the Sexton Woods neighborhood. You don't have to get on Johnson Ferry Road. I'm always used to coming on Johnson Ferry Road, which is a main road, to hook into this Blackburn Park. But you've kind of seen the Blackburn Park already from my little walk over here. There's a nice trail, this Nancy Creek Trail. It will actually connect over to the Murphy-Candler Park, or is it Candler-Murphy Park? I always get that name mixed up, but it's about a 2.3 mile trail that will connect over there to Murphy-Candler Park. There's a bunch of baseball fields. There's like a little pond. So a really pretty area. So this is definitely a great area to seek out if you're like a runner or a biker looking for some dedicated trail space. And yeah, you saw tennis courts, lots of soccer fields. And if soccer is your jam or your kids' jam, if you didn't get enough soccer from the fields that were over in the Keswick Village area or in this park, there's another soccer field just across the way called the Ashford Dunwoody Soccer Center. So lots of soccer going on here. All right, you guys, well, that concludes my tour of Sexton Woods and Keswick Village. I hope it was helpful for you. Make sure you go check out that Chamblee vlog tour to get a little bit more information of Chamblee, and maybe that Brookhaven vlog tour, because it's very similar to these neighborhoods, so you can kind of compare the two. I hope this was helpful. If you are thinking about making a move, whether that's tomorrow or next year, make sure you're reaching out to me. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. And hey, if there is a neighborhood you want to know more about in a video form, if it's in the city, I'll go there. So just put it down in those comments below. Love hearing from you guys. And yeah, I got a lot of walking. You know, I get so much exercise when I do these videos for you. So I'm gonna go back to my car. I gotta walk back all the way through this park, but love getting some exercise to help you guys out. So until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.